10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 333. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 333 of the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast. This week is going to be our tune of the month, and we're going to finish up our series on the great Clifford Brown with a little etude modeled after some of the stuff that we talked about this month. This etude is going to be set on top of the great bebop standard Joy Spring, which is a really hard tune. And we're going to talk about the form and how to think about it, and then get down to business on some of this material. But as usual, just wanted to remind you, if you are a new listener or a longtime listener, we do not have advertisements on the show. Instead, we rely on support from listeners just like you to keep the podcast going and coming out in high quality each and every week. We do that through the Patreon platform, and for a small monthly donation, you do get PDFs and audio examples to every single episode that we've ever done. So if you want to check that out and become part of the community, get all those fantastic jazz education materials, please go to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, and get yourself signed up today. Wanted to give a quick shout out to some new patrons this week. Thank you to our new $5 patrons, Christopher and Max, and thank you to our new $3 patrons, Matt and Emma. Also, shout out to Christopher and Jonathan for editing your pledge from that $3 level up to the $5 level. So if you'd like to join all these people, we've got over 350 people that are joined up and getting these awesome materials every week with the podcast. Just go to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, and get yourself signed up today. All right, let's jump into the episode. So as I mentioned, I wrote this etude over the great composition Joy Spring, which has some very, very fast moving changes, a lot of modulations, a lot of things happening. So I figured the first thing that we would do is actually go over the form of Joy Spring and sort of cast some light on what's going on with the changes, and then we'll get into the etude, and I'll give you a few of the ideas that I had rolling around in my head when I was writing this. But let's start with the form. So first things first, this is in the key of concert F. It is a 32 bar form, and it has kind of an odd form to it. It is A, B, C, A. And that is not a form that we see very often. So let's dive into it and see how this is all working. So in the first 8 bars, let's start with the A section. So we start in the key of F in bar 1. Then in bar 2, we have a very simple thing happening. It's 2, 5, back to 1 in bar 3. And now we have one of the coolest parts of the tune. This is kind of what characterizes this tune, is instead of just keeping that one chord going and maybe having a 3, 6, 2, 5, what we see in bar 4 is seemingly a 2, 5 in the key of A flat major. But then if we look at the next 2 bars, what we do see is a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, back into that key of F. And some people will play this tune where it goes 3, flat 3, 2, 5, 1. And I think that's okay too, but I like to think about it as a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Why is that B flat minor 7 to E flat 7 there, right? What it is this is a half step above the 3 chord, and it really goes with the sound of this tune. So that's kind of Clifford Brown's innovation in this tune, is instead of maybe having, that sharp 4 chord to 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, which would be just right around the circle of fourths for 3 measures. Instead, what he does is he does this little half step move, dropping into that 3 chord. And that's going to be kind of the theme of this particular tune. So now we're through measure 7. So let's recap what's been going on in the first 7 measures. So we got 1, 2, 5, 1, Then we get that 2-5, a half step above the 3. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. And there's our A section. All right, so now what happens in the B section? And actually, the B section really starts on the last measure of the A section, because what we see is we see a 2-5 in the key of G flat major. And basically, the B section is a mirror image of the A section, just up a half step. So when we finally modulate to that G flat major, we see 2, 5, 1. Then we get that half step motion again into the 3 chord. And then a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 in the key of G flat. Right? So remember, the B section is simply the A section up a half step. And that's actually a great way to remember how this tune is structured. Because if you understand how the A section works, then all you have to do in your head is put it up a half step and you're good. That's the B section. Now, that's a lot easier said than done, and G flat major is generally a much tougher key for every single instrument than F major. Okay, so now we get into the C section, and things are going to come at us really fast and furious during this C section here. So the last measure of the B section is a 2, 5 in the key of concert G. And then in the next bar, the second bar of the C section, we see a 2, 5 in the key of F. So we just modulated to the key of G. Now we're modulating to the key of F. Now we see a 2-5 to the key of E flat. So now we're modulating to the key of E flat. And then we see a 2-5 to G flat major. So the C section is moving really, really quickly. And what it does is it cycles through 4 keys in the span of 8 measures. So it goes from the key of G to the key of F to the key of E flat to the key of G flat. Okay, we saw a little pattern when we go from G to F to E flat. What's happening is we're modulating down a whole step for those first 3 keys, and then it moves back up to the key of G flat, which breaks that pattern. Then the last 8 bars of the tune are exactly the same as the first 8 bars. So we get the 2, 5, back to the key of F, 2, 5, F. We get our funky half step thing. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. And then we get a 2-5 that turns us back around into the top of the tune. So you see there's a lot happening, and it's happening very, very quickly, but it can all be explained relatively easily. There's just a lot of modulation happening in this tune. A lot of different key centers with 2-5s setting them up, which makes it really, really interesting, but it also requires us to be able to play in a lot of different keys when we're playing this tune. So let me know if you have any questions about that form, okay? Now I want to jump into the etude. So what I was thinking when I wrote this etude was, first of all, I was thinking about writing something that was a little more horizontal in nature, a little more linear. I am a player who really likes to play vertical things. So a lot of what I play when I improvise is based off of arpeggios and wider intervals. So this was a really great exercise for me, because one of the things we talked about with Clifford Brown's playing was that he plays a lot of scalar stuff, a lot of horizontal, a lot of linear stuff. So I was trying to do that as much as I could while kind of maintaining my own voice, while trying to learn something from Clifford Brown. The second thing that I was thinking about when I was writing this was that delayed resolution stuff that we talked about. And that was also really, really awesome for me, because what I realized was I don't think about that enough. That's an aspect of my playing that I want to get a lot more prominent, because I think it is really, really cool to delay that resolution and use things like enclosures and approach tones like Clifford Brown does so much. So those were really the 2 things that I was thinking about when I wrote this etude. So let's check it out. So there you have it. That is my etude over Joyce Spring. I think you can probably almost immediately hear, even if you're not looking at the PDF, some of those things that I was mentioning, some of those things that I was trying to accomplish, particularly those delayed resolutions. And I think a couple of them sound really forced, but that's okay. That's the whole point of the etude, right? I want to almost overuse that idea so that I'm really hammering it into my ears and into my brain. So let me know what you think about that. I hope you enjoy playing through the etude. Remember that you can get the PDF in concert, B flat, E flat, and bass clef by signing up for Patreon. You'll have instant access to all that stuff as soon as you get signed up. So go over to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, and get your etude and materials today. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this series on the great Clifford Brown, and we'll be coming at you soon with some other brand new episodes. Hope you're all doing well out there, staying safe and healthy, and have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.